Greetings to all of you, dear students. So, welcome back. Today, we are going to discuss about one problem in case of sale of partnership. So, let us go through the problem. We have Ram and Prem are partners having profit sharing ratio 2:1, and the balance sheet as on 31/3/2010 is given below. We have creditors, bills payable, Ram's loan, Ram's capital, Prem's capital, and reserve fund. We have cash in hand, then we have debtors, less reserve, bills receivable, debt stock, and machinery. They agreed to sell the business to a limited company and the company to take over assets and liabilities as follows. Machinery 16,000, stock 35,000, debtors 5,700, BR 5,000, goodwill 6,000. The company agreed to take over creditors at 10,000, bills payable at creditors is taken over at 38,000, bills payable at 10,000. The expenses of realization amounted to 300. The firm received 40,000 of the purchase price in fully paid equity shares, and the balance in cash distribute the shares as per the original capital ratio. Prepare ledger accounts in the books of the firm. So we have Ram and Prem are partners having profit sharing ratio 2:1. So ಲಾಭನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹಂಚ್ಕೋರು ಅಂತಾರಂದ್ರೆ 2/3 and 1/3. Their balance sheet as on 31/12/10 is given below. We have creditors transferred to credit side of realization account. BP 10,000 transferred to credit side of realization account. Ram loan. Ram is a partner. Partner loan straight should be taken to bank account. Ram is a partner. It's not an external liability. It's an internal liability. So Ram loan should be taken to straight bank account. Then we have capital account of Ram and Prem. So Ram's capital 30,000. Prem's capital 20,000 to be taken to capital account as by balance brought down. Then we have reserve fund to be taken to capital account and distribute among the partners in profit sharing ratio. 6,000 ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪಾಲುಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Then we have cash in hand. Cash in hand to be taken as to balance brought down in bank account, not to be transferred to realization account, because cash is not taken over by the partners, by the company. Then we have bills receivable. Transfer bills receivable to debit side of realization account. Then we have gross debtors 60,000. So gross debtors 60,000 to be transferred to debit side of realization account. Reserve to be transferred to credit side of realization account. As per accounting procedure, gross debtor realization account alli debit kade tagoli and reserve bandu credit kade tagoli. Next we have stock 43,700 to be transferred to debit side of realization account. Machinery 20,000 to be transferred to debit side of realization account. They agreed to sell the business to a limited company and the company to take over the assets and liabilities as follows. What are the assets and liabilities taken over? Machinery 16,000 taken over. Stock 35,000 taken over. Debtor 50,700 taken over. BR 5,000 taken over by the company, and then goodwill 6,000 taken over by the company. So totally 5 assets are taken over by the company, including an additional asset called goodwill. The company agreed to take over creditors at 38,000. So creditor is taken over by the company, and then BP is also taken over by the company at 10,000. So both the liabilities are taken over by the company. The expenses of realization comes to 3,000. So 3,000 realization expenses, take it in debit side of realization account, debit all expenses and losses. The firm received 40,000 of the purchase price in 10 rupee fully paid equity share. So the PC is not given in the question. So PC has to be calculated through net asset method. They have given you at what value assets are taken over and at what values liabilities are taken over. So purchase consideration bandu net asset mukantra lekka madabeku. Assets taken over minus liabilities taken over will be the PC. Whatever is the PC, in that 40,000 rupee is paid in the form of equity share. Balance is paid in the form of cash. So it's partly equity share and partly cash. And specifically they mentioned that the balance in share cash, distribute these shares as per original capital ratio. Purchasing company kodo anta shares annu capital ratio dalli anchkoli 3:2. Prepare ledger account in the books of the firm. So hege PC na ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡೋದು? Asset taken over minus liabilities taken over. So machinery taken over at 16,000, stock taken over at 35,000, debtor taken over at 50,700, BR taken over at 5,000, goodwill taken over at 6,000. So these are the assets taken over, less creditors taken over, less BP taken over. So we get a purchase consideration of 64,700. Out of 64,700, 40,000 is paid in the form of equity share and 24,700 is paid in the form of cash. Now realization account hege prepare madodu? Bring all assets from the balance sheet to the debit side, to BR, to debtor, to stock, to mission. These are the assets taken, these are the assets transferred from balance sheet to the debit side of realization account. Then as per accounting procedure, gross debtor is taken in, I repeat, gross debtor is taken in debit side, reserve is taken in credit side. This is the accounting procedure that we are supposed to follow. Then transfer liabilities, creditors and BP to credit side from balance sheet. Then we have 64,700 as PC, purchase consideration. Debit side we record 300 as to bank realization expenses, debit all expenses and losses. So students, 1,28,700 is a total asset transferred from balance sheet. 53,000 is a total liability transferred from balance sheet. 64,700 is called purchase consideration. And then we have realization expenses 300. So we get a loss, realization loss of 11,300. ಈ ನಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ಪಾಲುಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Next we need to prepare the capital account. Bring the capital balance of the partners from the balance sheet, 30,000 and 20,000. Distribute the reserve fund to partners in profit sharing ratio. So bring the capital from the balance sheet. ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎರಡು ಪಾಲುಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಶೇರ್ಸ್, ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ 40,000 ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಈ ಎರಡು ಪಾಲುಗಾರರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಆಧಾರದ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So distribute the shares among the partners. Then final settlement of the partners is 2,467 and 2,233. Bank account receipts are recorded in the debit side. So first bring down the cash balance in the balance sheet as to balance brought down. So bank ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ. ತದನಂತರ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಬಂದು ಪಿ ಸಿನ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ 24,700. ದ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಪೇ ಪಿ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ 24,700. ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Then payments, we have realization expenses payment 300 and final settlement to partners 2,467, 2,233. And then we have to pay to partner loan 20,000. So thereby the bank account tallies with 25,000. Thank you.